Namaskar from our channel, The Consultant's View. Water is a source of all happiness. It's a quote from Pancho Mahabhut 10.9 in Rig Veda. So, water, since our ancient times, is seen as a symbol of life, change, purity, and the underlying flow of existence, not merely a physical substance. It holds deep symbolic, rituals, and philosophical significance all across spirituality, practices, and daily life. It was the wisdom of our ancestors. But now, in this present context, water is more a physical need. It is being treated as a commodity that can even trade it like other stuff. Treating water as a commodity can lead to more efficient use and investment, but underlying risks are access, equity, and sustainability. The key challenge is balancing economic incentives with ecological requirements. If we analyze the parameters for economic incentive, emphasizing on domestic needs, we see there has been appreciable water loss from the system in trading water from the source to the consumers. Since more than last 3 decades, water loss has been a hotspot of discussion even prior to establishment of IWA, International Water Association, in 1999. Honest initiatives are being made at different levels in India, but the outcomes are not as expected both in long-term performance and scale. It is really a sustainable issue. Are we looking at it more through the lens of physical issue? Managing a water supply system for reduction of loss is apparently seems to be more technical than others. Is it really so? Let's discuss. To discuss in depth, we have Mr. Rajat Chatterjee. Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar, good evening, Shubha Sandhya.
Thank you, sir. Sir, before we deep down to our discussion, please allow me to give some introduction of yours.
Okay, please continue.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Rajat Chatterjee worked in the field of water and sanitation in KMDA, that is Kolkata Metropolitan Development Authority, which encompasses Greater Kolkata, including its neighboring corporations and municipalities, as D.G.O, Director General Operations. He headed WASP, that is Water and Sanitation Project of the government, and functioned as technical head in World Bank funded projects to improve the water supply of Kolkata metropolitan area. He also headed Ganga Action Plan works within the state of West Bengal. After retirement in 2008 as chief engineer, followed by superannuation from KMDA till year 2017 as D.G.O, Director General Operation, he joined KEIIP, an ADB funded project under KMC, that is Kolkata Municipal Corporation, as consultant and headed Water Loss Management Unit of KMC. He successfully implemented water loss management projects in selective areas of KMC, which include critical localities in the vicinity of Tallah OHR tank, where water is in abundance but availability is utterly disproportionate. In this project, water loss management was properly addressed first time in Eastern India. Mr. Chatterjee, after his graduation in civil engineering in the year 1966 from B College Shibpur, now IIEST, did post-graduation in environmental engineering from Jadavpur University, and thereafter persuaded for postgraduate in water supply and sanitation engineering from Delft, Netherlands. In 2011, he was the recipient of Best Water Engineer Award of IWWA, Indian Waterworks Association. He has few publications to his credit. At the age of 78, he is still entrusted for his advisory role in the government and non-government entities. He is now recognized as one of the prominent professionals in water loss management in the country. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Patro.
Sir, can we start our discussion on water loss management? Is sustainable issue.
I am ready.
Yes, sir.
Please have your questions.
Yeah. Sir, my first question is for the viewers, please give an overview on water loss from water supply system in Indian context.
Good evening once again to the viewers. I am Rajat Chatterjee. I am in the field of water supply for the last 50 years and worked in the Calcutta Metropolitan area, which spread from Uluberia on one side, Kollani on the other side, Diamond Harbour on the another side, and concluded in the Badaipur on the other side. In these vast areas, we have faced areas where we have got deficiency in water. Now, fortunately, Kolkata metropolitan area has been gifted with a perennial river called River Hooghly,
Yeah.
which flows from north to south, and the township has developed an east and western part of the river. Since it is a perennial river, so we are fortunate to have our intake from where the raw water from river Hooghly is being abstracted and then it is being treated in different treatment plants and then pumped into the distribution system to reach to the consumers at the end.
Yeah.
Now, so far as loss is concerned, the first loss comes from the intake, that is from where we are drawing the raw water because of its pump and also the ancillary joints, valves, etc. that is being put in the system. Now the raw water comes into the main water treatment plant. The purpose of the water treatment plant is to eliminate the turbidity from the raw water, for which we require initially in the old days we are using clariflocculator,
Yeah.
now we are using plate
Let's
settlers.
say.
Now the sludge that comes out from these treatment facilities is being pumped into a sludge tank.
Yeah.
Now after the clarification is over, it goes to the filtration unit. Now in the filtration unit, you know that after a cycle of filtration, we need to backwash the bed. That means from the intake to the treatment plant, we have around 10% of water losses. It is
Yeah.
inescapable. You have to have that thing.
Yes. It
There,
is unavoidable rather.
yes, I will say unavoidable, inescapable. Then the water from the uh, treatment plant is being pumped into the primary network. From there, the distribution network, and then it reaches to the consumer. During these phases, we have also losses in the pipes. Why?
Yeah.
If there is pipe, there will be joints. If there is joints, there will be leakage. Had it been in London, had it been in Netherlands, or even in our city of Calcutta, we have losses. Now, these losses is also around 5 to 6%. Now, depends upon the maintenance of this distribution network, renewal of the pipes which has been laid long back, we can reduce that losses.
Yeah.
Now it reaches to the consumer. The consumer is using their domestic pipelines to get water from their taps. In this system also, there are losses. These losses are the physical losses which can be controlled, managed, etc. But there are some losses which are done by the consumer itself. What is
Right.
it? We are not closing the taps after your usage. We are using water in our wash basin for shaving.
Yeah.
We are keeping the taps open, never
Yeah.
bothers to close it. There is
I have also the
losses.
same habit, sir. Bad habit.
We are using our water closet after urination, after all the purpose, whether it requires or not, we use that thing. That is why we are doing this thing. The very simple reason to me is that we do not pay for water.
Yes,
We do
correct.
not pay
Pay
for
for water.
water. Still, a lot of people has got the imbibedness in their head that water is gift of God. But in the initial, at the start of this program, it has been clearly mentioned that water is happiness. It is
Yeah.
written in Rig Ved. So if you really want to enjoy water, if you really want to have happiness from water, forget those habits. You must remove these habits. And this is the first point if you really want to have water loss properly managed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We'll explain, sir. My next question will be, we know from different reports, and as you told, that water loss is in an existing water supply system is comes about 35 to 55% in urban areas. So it is a huge number. Is it really so, or we, the general public, are interpreting it differently?
Yes, this is a very tricky and important question about the quantum of water loss. Here, Mr. Patro, you have mentioned that in the urban areas, people says the water losses is between 35 to 55%
Of the existing system,
of
good
the
system.
existing system. In our case, since we do not pay for water, in our country, I will say in general, in Kolkata in particular, since we do not pay for water, who bothers whether it is 55% or whether it is 35%?
Correct.
I have the opportunity to study in the Netherlands in this water supply sphere. In the European countries, all the water supply managing companies are privatized, and their intention is to earn as much as they can. What is the difference which I have seen there? We have seen that some of in where I am staying in Netherlands, the area called Delft, there is canal. Beside the canal, the pipes has gone. If there is any crack or leakage from the pipe, within 10 minutes, the masons, the plumbers, they are jumped into the side and try to remove and repair such leakage as early as possible. Then I have asked their manager what is the reason behind it. They simply say that we will be sacked because we are monitored that how much quantum of water we are getting as revenue water.
Okay.
If you have got losses in water, that is non-revenue water. If the non-revenue water goes up, my job will be at stake. So I will always try to get that thing done as early as possible. Now coming back to that 35 to 55%, in my first question I have tried to answer some of the aspects of these things. But actually, if you really want to know what is the percentage that you are losing, you have to have the measurement facilities
That means monitoring system.
and monitoring system.
Yeah.
What is measurement facilities? The main primary grid, you have to have the water,
Monitor.
the water meter thing, that how much water it is going, I can. So in a particular zone, if I know that through this pipeline, I am sending say 100,000 liter of water, and there are 200 premises over there, and if each of the premises has got the water meter itself, and if you can note down that how much water it is coming over there, then the difference between that two things is the loss which has been occurring, or the physical loss. Unfortunately, in our country, the process of installing water meter has been very recently started in the Jal Jeevan Mission, in Amrut projects. It will take a long time to complete those things, but by this time, exactly telling whether it is 35 to 55% is not, I think, will be proper to answer. But
Yeah.
I will say that yes, there is a range which is above 35%, and now there is a guideline where it is said that reduce the water loss to 15 to 18%. Whatever you have got, it must be reduced to 15 to 18%.
Yes.
And to come down beyond below that will be a very economically and also managerially it will be a difficult task.
Yes, sir. Sir, as you told that NRW, just you have touched upon. So, can you just explain that non-revenue what NRW, physical loss, UFW, unaccounted for flow, so for the viewers mainly.
Yeah, I have just mentioned one thing is that whenever in the European states there is a breakage of pipes, heavy leakage from the joints, etc., they jumped on it and they repair it as early as possible. Why? To reduce revenue water. What is non-revenue water? The water which has been lost before you repair it properly is the non-revenue water. That means you have not charged for that water.
Yeah.
It has lost. That is non-revenue water. If you charge the entire water is the revenue water.
Yeah.
That is the difference between the physical loss. Physical loss is there if there is a joint. There may be a very mild type of leakage, and to address that leakage properly, 100%, the amount of expenditure that will be needed to reduce 2 to 3% is astronomically high. So we do not bother for that. We
Okay.
bother for the water, which is apparently you can see that it is rushing out from the underground, because you know the pipelines are laid underground. So the water is gushing out of the water. We try to address that water. So this is the water that is a physical loss of water. Since in our country or in many of the countries we do not charge for water, so there is no non-revenue
There is
water.
no concept of
Everything,
non-revenue.
the concept of non-revenue is not there. What is it? It is unaccounted for water. What is that? I am supplying a particular area 100 cubic meter of water, but the people are getting there only 80,000 cubic meter of water. What is the difference? 100 minus 80 is 20,000 cubic meter of water. That is unaccounted for water, because we have not measured, we are not charging for that people. So where there will be unaccounted for water, the tendency or propensity of the consumer to lose water, to go for this unethically losing of water will go on increasing. If we
Yes.
really put the system of management, that is monitoring, this will definitely reduce.
Yes, sir. Sure. Apparent observation of some consultant in water sector is that the functional urban bodies have an inclination to showcase more physical water loss. Sir, do you agree this? If yes, why?
I partly agree to this.
Partly. Okay.
The reason is that you know that in all areas, the area where I am staying, it is one of the very posh area of the city of Calcutta. It is the southern part of Calcutta. I stay in Baliganj. Since my birth, I am staying over here. But if you go 2 kilometers from here, we have slums.
Yeah.
You know that when there is a posh area, etc., etc., you require the people who will work for your daily households. From where they will come? So they normally stays very near to that
Yeah.
areas, which from where the slums has developed. The concept of slums has come. Now, if you compare to the water availability in our area and about 2 kilometers away from our area is totally different. There are two issues. One, we get water at a high pressure, we get water at a particular quantity, assured particular quantity. What is that? Now, as per the government standard, in a metro city like Kolkata, Bombay, Delhi, etc., the per capita consumption is 150 LPCD, that is 150 liters per capita per day.
Yes.
And in the other urban areas, it is 135 LPCD. Now, if you go to these slums, they are getting water not more than 75 to 80 LPCD. So, there is a difference. That is not the quantum. If you see the pressure where we are getting over here is more than 4 meter head, and there less than a meter head. So, they are getting less quantum of water at a much lower pressure. Now, to avoid that thing, this discrepancy, the managerial people, managerial staff of the municipalities or the corporation try to project that, look here, that in case of these slums, where we cannot provide 100% connection, service connection to each of the slum dwellers, we have provided them outside a street stand post.
Okay, stand post.
We get water from the street stand post. And you see that nobody bothers to close the street stand post even after their usage of water. What has happened? There is a huge quantum of physical loss. So, this physical loss is due to the ignorance or due to unintentional use or misuse of water. So, they are getting much less quantum of water. Had that been addressed, their problem was not that bad. Actually, I do not 100% agree with it. A part I agree with, but the system of the distribution, the system of the pipeline network is wrong or not properly designed in that area. As a result, one of the major issue of disproportionate pressure and also quantity is because of that.
Okay, sir. According to you, what should be the effective and most practical way? It may not be the ideal way to assess the water loss of an existing water supply system.
You know, in an existing water supply system, if you consider our city of Calcutta, it is more than 150 years old. Many of the areas, the pipelines are very old. What has happened? As a result of this period of time of water going through this pipeline, it get incrustated. So, a 100 millimeter pipeline has now reduced into 60 millimeter size. What is the effect? The effect is the pressure is reduced. If there is a reduced pressure, what will happen? The area where the distribution system is not properly designed will have a disproportionate quantum of water. Whereas in the other areas where your diameter of water is higher than in case of these slum areas, they are also getting water at a less pressure. So, to really have assess the water loss in a particular area, what you have to do? You have to do a proper monitoring of the entire system.
Yeah.
Without monitoring, you cannot assess the exact quantum of water. Now, how you can do the monitoring? Monitoring is two things. One, monitoring of pressure. Two, monitoring of quantity of water the consumer is received. Why we require the monitoring of pressure? You know, when there is a burst of pipeline, if the pressure in that area, if you do not know the pressure of that area, the outburst resulted, the gushing of water will be more if the pressure is high. But if you know that there is a valve over in that system, by controlling the valve, I can reduce the pressure. Reduction of the pressure means less wastage of water through that cracks or bursting of pipes. Still it is being repaired. So in water supply, 2 points are very much important. One is the monitoring of pressure. Two is the monitoring of the quantum of water the people receive. Monitoring of pressure can be done by putting the pressure meter. Monitoring of water, quantum of water that is being received can be monitored simply by putting the water meter in the consumer system and also in the pipeline by using flow meters.
Yeah.
By flow meters, we can know that this quantum of water is there. So, as in the initial stage, we have mentioned, you have mentioned that water is a commodity.
Yeah.
So, if it is a commodity, we have to monitor it. We have to take care of it. You know that the cost of production of water is going high and high. Why? The basic reason is the raw water quality is deteriorating. Again, the why water is deteriorating? Because of the increase of the population load. Because of the increase of the population load, the wastewater finds way to reach the river, and as a result, the coliform count, the other parameters of the water, which was previously much less, now has gone up. So you have to also perform very good type of treatment procedure, monitoring of the treatment procedure, resulting increase of the water pressure. Now, in the initial stage in 1970s, when we are doing this water treatment, the cost of production of 1 kiloliter of water is around 5 rupees, which has now gone to 10 in the same river from which we are drawing the water. So I must say that we must look into this monitoring aspect properly.
Yeah, so when monitoring is so important and it should be compulsory. Okay. So how this cost of this monitoring should be inbuilt in the system, because after the construction, the contractor will go, operator will go. So after a few years.
You have made really a very good point. Now, operation and maintenance is the key word nowadays. Initially, when we are in the assistant engineer, executive engineer stage, at that time, the contractors or the big agencies are making the treatment plants, make 1 year operation and maintenance, then they go. We do not have at that time the skilled workers, skilled operators to run the show properly. Now, what we have changed, now we have made the operation maintenance part minimum 10 years to be done by the constructor or the executor. So, after execution of the entire treatment plant, you cannot go. You have to show us the performance, what you are giving, properly monitoring, properly ensuring that all the pressure meter, flow meter, domestic meter is working for 10 years, then you can go. Otherwise, a part of your money or a part of your expenditure payment will be withheld. So that is the issue that is the, I must say, that's the way we have addressed this issue a lot.
Yes, sir, good. Sir, a rumor is there nowadays that non-revenue water has become more of a business in water sector than addressing societal need. Sir, is it true? What's your view on this?
Now, I will give you my experience in this issue. When I was head of the water loss management unit in KMC in a project funded by the Asian Development Bank, the main points, the main aim of that project is how to address the water loss of a particular area.
Yeah.
Now we have selected a particular area in North Calcutta, which is in Kashipur. Now, what is the reason of going to North Calcutta? That is a congested area. That area has got a lot of slums, etc., etc. Why you have not selected South Calcutta? The simple reason is that now you know that Kolkata is getting water from a water treatment plant known as Polta, which is located 25 kilometers from the northern part of the Kolkata. The water after treatment in Polta comes into the outskirt of the North Calcutta, that is in Kashipur, in an area which is known as Tallah. There we have got the, in eastern India, the highest overhead reservoir. The water is being stored over there. It is also stored underground also. Since the reservoir is very close proximity to the consumers or users, they have the they are the privileged people, I must say, privileged community who in Kolkata is getting water around 22 hours a day. Now the concept of that 24 into 7 has come nowadays, that in those areas, that is ward number 1 to 6 of Kolkata, that is the oldest part of the Kolkata, they are getting water for 22 hours because they have the Tala water reservoir very close proximity over there.
Source is very near.
Unfortunately, it has been observed that after some putting some flow meters in the system, we have identified the areas which are not getting water at a pressure or at the quantum which is as per requirement of 150 LPCD, they are not getting water. But the Tala tank is only 3 kilometers off from there. Those which to our record, they are getting very good water, very pressure wise, it's very sufficient, quantum wise quite sufficient. When we approach to them, they said we are also not getting water. It's very fine. Then we said, sir, we want to make some experiment. What experiment you want to do? Sir, we want to put some domestic water meter over here at our cost. You don't have to pay a single pass. They vehemently opposed to it because they thought that if the water meter is put, they will be charged for water. So we have to give a letter from our Honorable Mayor that we are doing it for experimental purpose. We will not charge for a single copper for giving this meter over there. Then you see that we first go and make a survey. That is I have done that thing purposely because we go to every house. I have not consulted with the census figure. Each of the household, that how many person you are staying. You tell me. They said 6%. Fine. Next day we have put a slip over there mentioning that you have mentioned that you have 6% residing in your flat. Very fine. They said yes. Now we put the meter over there. To your utter surprise, I can tell you, to my utter surprise also, the maximum water that one should get is not more than 150 liters per capita per day. With 6%, it comes to 600 to 700 liters per capita per day. Whereas the slums, they are getting water 65 to 75. Now, it's a shock to those peoples, I must say.
Yeah.
You see what they have what they have done. They came to my office. I sat in the AJC Boslo, telling, sir, we have done we have mentioned wrong population which are staying. It should be 16. I said, you have lost the bus. The bus is lost. So we have invited a meeting in which the local representative councillor has been invited, and we have said that, look, this is the scenario, that one people is getting more than 600 to 800 and the other people is getting less than 80. Nobody is paying for you. You are giving both them free. Is it right? Because those people are also be present over there. The
Yeah.
slum people are shouting a huge
Yeah,
that what
obviously.
you are doing, what it is doing. Now I will say that this monitoring, we are not charging for water. The people conscious has come up.
Yeah.
Self-conscious has come up. The next month when I have gone and I have asked what is the meter reading, they said, sir, the meter is not functioning properly. I said, why you are telling that? Sir, it is only 400. It was 600 plus. Now it has come down to 400. Yes, it is the conscious, self-conscious. So I must say that what Rigved has told, water is happiness.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you really want to enjoy the water, if you really want to enjoy water with all, you must reduce your consumption, which is not required. One of the things is that we are shaving,
Yeah.
putting the taps open because you do not have to pay for it. You are using the shower open hours together, not bothering anything, not closing it properly. So this is intentional wastage of water. Until and unless this happiness of water develops, you cannot address that thing. And it
Exactly,
all
sir.
depends on you. You, it is I who can address this water loss. Only monitoring and asking not to do, will not do it until and unless you feel water is really a subject of happiness.
That means, sir, basically the self consciousness is the main thing, more relevant thing than
Than
technical.
tactical
Technical.
monitoring.
Yes.
This is
Correct.
my perception after this particular project I am telling you.
Since last 20 years, the government is pumping good amount of money to address this issue. Standing today, how do you see the performance? Are the expenditure done worth with respect to the benefits?
I must say here the government is pumping the lot of money in the water sector is not for the uh, water loss management.
Yes.
Only the one which I have done 1 to 6, it is the only project which has been done in the Eastern India and it has been a total success. And I must say that we have been proud. I am proud to say that we have reduced it. I forget about what it was previously because that is also a controversial thing. It has come down to 15 to 18%, which I must say that whatever it may be previous quantum, it has reduced to the quantum which the European peoples are finding it hard to maintain that thing. No, the government has pumped
Money.
money in the water sector is to improve the distribution network. Previously, it was all tree system. Now we have been make a ring system,
Looping or something.
loop and ring.
Yeah.
Why? So that to maintain the pressure of the
Exactly.
entire zone, and for which we have to redesign, relay the pipelines which has been previously haphazardly being done. So you know that the priority of the government is now to provide water to all. Not water to all means water to all at your place of residence, for which Jal Jeevan Mission is working. Fund is coming from the Jal Jeevan Mission. Fund is coming from the Amrut projects, where we are we are bound, or we have been uh, asked, we have been determined to provide water to people at their residence so that they can enjoy water as a happiness. I must say, water should be enjoyed as a happy
Yeah.
commodity, not as a commodity, but as a happy commodity.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. How do you see this initiative of discussing on social media on such an emerging topic, which is very much relevant to today's perspective on sustainability?
I must say that these few words which we have discussed should be ventilated through social media to all the people so that the self-consciousness which we have just discussed should come to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Without the self-consciousness, this cannot be achieved. So this is a very, I must say, I must thank your organization of taking up this type of issue, and I must say this should be broadcasted amongst the all people as a social media, so that they should think it over twice in the coming days that how to conserve water, so that all people should share the same water with happiness.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
Sir,
Mr.
here we are
Bhatt.
coming to the end of our session. Sir, we have a certificate of participation for your participation in this podcast program.
Thank you. Thank you. I once again thanks the consultants View firm to organize this podcast, and I hope that the people, if they go through it or if they hear it patiently, there must be some improvement in the future.
Mainly the
The
self-consciousness.
self-consciousness.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Namaskar.